If there's one lesson we should have learned from history, and just from this past week, it's that we need to believe our enemies when they tell us what they're going to do. Hitler told the world his plans for global domination, and we didn't listen. Today, the clerics in Iran chant death to Israel, and then they also chant death to America. Maybe we should start believing them. At this very moment, Iran is advancing its nuclear weapons program while the Supreme Leader Khamenei threatens to wipe Israel off the face of the map. Maybe he means it. His office put a poster with a picture of Jerusalem and the same words made infamous by Adolf Hitler, the final solution. The Iranian regime is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism and the world's leading state sponsor of anti-Semitism. Iran is just as radical and just as dangerous as ISIS. Right now, as we speak, as we meet here, Iranian assassins are in the United States with active plots to try and kill, to try and assassinate former President Trump, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, my friend Brian Hook, and others. These are all Trump administration officials. Unfortunately, President Biden and his officials, they just don't get it. They are ignoring this threat, and in fact, they're making it far worse. This administration, just 3 weeks ago, gave this Iranian regime that sponsored the attacks that we saw a week ago $6 billion in ransom for five Iranian spies. They exchanged that for Americans. I can tell you, remember during the second term of the Obama administration, Iran, do you remember whenever Obama gave them, the Iranians, the pallets of cash? We remember seeing that reported in the Wall Street Journal. Well, that was $1.7 billion for 5 hostages that the Biden team just negotiated. This time, or excuse me, that the Obama team negotiated. This time, Biden paid $6 billion. So Obama did $1.7 billion, Biden did $6 billion. I'd say that's about the right exchange rate when you're looking at Biden inflation. But let me tell you, money Biden paid isn't going to food and medicine. Don't believe them when they say this. It's going to terror campaigns around the world. It's going to use the suicide drones that you see flown in Russia that are destroying Ukrainian citizens and their cities. Under Biden, Iran's oil sales are 3 times higher than the Trump administration. Iran used to give Hamas $100 million a year. This year, under the Biden administration, Iran gave Hamas $350 million. They seem to be the only people making good money in Biden's economy. No, the truth hurts. It didn't have to go this way. If Republicans showed that we could get Americans out, because remember in the Trump administration, in the last 2 years, we got 2 Americans out of Iran, wrongfully in prison. Guess how much we paid for those Americans? $0. We got out without paying a single cent. This tells you all you need to know about Joe Biden. He can't negotiate with our enemies, and he can't deter our enemies. He is still trying to cut a nuclear deal with the Iranian regime that would give them billions of dollars in sanctions relief and 0 restrictions on their terror plans. So I don't like coming to you as the foreign policy person that you guys see on Fox and from the Trump administration. I don't like coming to you with such a dour message today, but I had to change my remarks last night to reflect the seriousness of the state that we're in. And I have to tell you, folks, we are at war. The forces of Marxism, extreme Islam, authoritarianism, and totalitarianism are at war against the people of faith, against all of us in this room. Why? Because dictators and despots cannot stand it. They cannot tolerate it, that we all answer to a higher calling than the government. We all answer to the Almighty God.